Education has been shown to have enormous benefits in all facets of life. For communities such as the ones we have here in the Gambia, education can increase long-term development, cause greater social cohesion, and increase social mobility. Today, more girls than ever go to school. However, despite progress, women and girls face multiple barriers based on gender and its intersection with other factors. On this episode, we look at the impact of girls' education with Starfish International.
Hello, welcome to Starfish International. My name is Patlava Jaite and I'm the Development Director of the organization. 10 years ago, I walked through this gate and I came for the laying of the foundation block that led to this library. I'll be taking you around the facility and I'm really humbled to let you know that during all the years, I've been personally able to mentor students who are now running the program with me, and that has been an honor. So come with me and I'm sure you will find the place interesting. This is our community library. It has been in existence for 10 years.
This building right here is the Starfish International Library, also known as the Lantarankunda Library. When I was a kindergarten, I came here and I loved the program and interviewed as a Starfish student. And now I am a mentor in training and running the program. So when the library was being established, the co-founders, Auntie Yasin and her husband, Uncle David, were in the US. And so they didn't have anyone who could run the library. And so they decided if this is for the community, then they should entrust it in the hands of the community. So they met the community members and explained to them that if they could take care of the books, their kids could use it and their future generation could also benefit from it. So when they came back from the US, 75% of the books that they entrusted in the hands of the community were intact, and they were so proud of them.
10 years ago, my husband and I came back from the US to come and start a girls' education program right here in this village where I was born and grew up. So where we're sitting is actually the compound, and the building used to be here where I was born and lived for the first 6 years of my life. So I really literally came back to where I'm from to start a girls' education program. And it's been the highlight of my life.
We subscribe to the belief that advancing girls' education through service to humanity is one way in which we can solve a whole lot of issues that are happening around here. And so since this building was built under the foundation of knowledge, we expose and motivate students to gain all forms of knowledge, with academic being the center of it. So we teach them to rise a level higher in their academic performance and to kind of participate in all educational activities. And that way it will help them develop intellectually and kind of help them more like with their growth as well. The book we published last year during our 10-year anniversary, titled Once Upon a Time, and this book was to give the students the platform to be able to share their stories their own way, because that way they give the reader a different perspective, a different narrative of who they are as people, and like the Gambia, what the Gambia is all about, and Africa as a continent as well.
Young people are the future. Then you have to prepare the future. You have to invest in the future. And that means actually giving them a chance to learn and lead, and then guiding them so that they can make the mistakes when they're younger, instead of them getting older and then learning on the job. So the mentorship program is the most powerful way to convince people of the benefits of girls' education, because you can actually put girls in front of the parents and say, if you want a daughter like this, this is the kind of program they can go through. So usually when people talk about mentors, they talk about adults mentoring younger people. And I think when I was in high school, I was involved in peer health education. We were talking about sexuality, STDs, AIDS prevention. And the research showed that it is actually more effective for somebody closer to your age to talk to you about certain things than for adults to tell you. And so since I was working with teenagers and since I wanted to help develop youth leaders, it made more sense to me to train youth leaders so they can train other youth leaders. And in this work, you need a critical mass of people. So it's not just a few adults leading young people. We wanted the young people to take leadership.
This place exposed me to an empire built around my desire, so I can be aware, awake, away from every boxman to cage me, every wall put up to stop me, every storm sent out to put off my flames. But, Santa Yalla, I am okay. You know, some of us didn't have it all growing up, but having soul sisters who listened without judging, inspirations who believed in us more than we did ourselves, the taps on the back, the hugs in the moments, the love without conditions, instilled in this Starfish legacy here. Indomitable hope. What I have become is an unapologetic dreamer. They can belittle me because of my gender, bend me because of my voice, bully me because of my choice. But this classy here cannot be classified, much less broken.
The mentors are challenged to live what they believe. So it's one thing to say, I believe in service. It's another thing to graduate from high school and come and serve. Right? It's one thing to say I believe in unity. It's another thing to work day in, day out with people from different religions, from different family backgrounds, and still love them like your brothers and your sisters.
Starfish International made me realize a lot of things about myself. They have helped me improve on my public speaking, and part that I love a lot is the drumming skill that they helped me with. Starfish has, made me learn the drumming skill. Today I must say drumming is something that is really part of me. It's something that I love doing, and it's one of the things that I can use to connect with a lot of people, especially when we go in for our community outreaches. Because when we go into these communities, we make sure we are able to communicate with them with the languages that they understand. So we compose songs in the local languages, we do plays, and as I drum and we sing in the local languages, they don't just dance to the beat, but also learn from the message that we are trying to put across.
So what makes it unique is that it's character-based, is morally based, is virtues-based. They have to actually implement kindness and love and service and respect and teamwork in their lives every day. And they have to do it for God's sake. So we offer a university education for them if they come and mentor. But for the first year, they actually have to do it without getting anything material from the program. And then the mentors that have already been there are the ones who vote to see if they're ready to serve the students. So you have to, instead of going and saying, I'm helping other people, these mentors actually have to prove that they're worthy of serving these young people, you see? So it's flipped. You come and show through your actions, and you live and work with people who support you. And then at the end of the day, they give you feedback about whether you are ready to be of service to such a vulnerable population or not. So by the time you're ready to go out into the world and practice it, you've had years of practicing being authentic, being real, working hard, making mistakes, accepting it, and correcting it.
Being in the program, I've seen the amount of work the mentors and the co-founders have put into this work, and now being the finance coordinator at Starfish is something that means a lot to me, because now I'm able to know how to manage the Starfish finance, because I know the work that we are doing here at Starfish. And as the public relations director also, I want the people to know, the people out there to know that when we go into their offices, I want them to know that these are faces from Starfish International. We are not just anybody trying to do something. We are people from Starfish, girls who are ready to make change in their community.
I work with a group of students who are also interested in what I'm interested in, that is in the field of art. Even though not all of them are interested in becoming artists in the future, they were able to learn skills that they could use in helping them provide that is some of their basic needs, as independent is a quality that is expected of all students in Starfish. I also have a few artists, resident artists, who are also interested and have been fully in support of what I do in the program, and also contributed a lot in nurturing these girls in this area. And I have paintings from different resident artists who have worked very hard in making this dream come true. And we also have monthly events that we call the Sip and Support. We invite artists in our community who come and share their stories to the students, and they get to learn from those people. They get to support by buying some of the products that we sell here in the gallery. And my message to the girls out there is that it's never impossible to live your dream.
In as much as not everybody will agree, know that your dream matters. That is why it's there. So live it.
How impressive. We have more to come as we embark on this journey with Starfish International. We will be right back after the short break.
For us, school never stopped. But in addition to school, Starfish was always about giving them tutorials in the subjects that they do in school, but making sure that they use those skills to make a difference within the society. Each student has to identify a problem in your neighborhood that you can fix, and then you do something to fix it. And that's the payback to the service you get from Starfish. And so they went home, the students went home a week before the government shut down, actually, and they started hand washing stations in their homes. They started tutoring children in their homes. They started helping children in their neighborhood start small businesses. You know, this is the time when the students are most vulnerable. So if they ever needed teachers and mentors, this is the time, particularly girls who are more in the home and cases of abuse are more rife when the longer that they stay in unsafe situations, wherever that may be.
The girl is at the center and everything revolves around her. Because when you educate a girl and recognize her station as an equal, you uplift the entire world. This Starfish principle is a reflection of the Starfish inspiration and story, my personal story, and the work that I do here at Starfish. And if we want to produce the kinds of adults that can think outside of the box, that have character, that value their culture and can use the wealth in their culture to generate income and independence, we have to start when they are young. If we want the kinds of adults that we think we deserve, we have to start training them from an early age. We have to look outside of the classroom, and so we supplement their learning of math and English with poetry, critical thinking, music and dance, gender equity, and cultural appreciation. So my message to all parents out there is to allow their children, especially young girls, to use enrichment programs such as Starfish International to develop themselves and be better leaders that we deserve in the Gambia.
So we want to do healthcare, we want to do education. Those are very important to us.
So I'm particularly interested in nursing, and I'm actually going to nursing school right now. So I know that a big part of that has been with me, my expertise as a nurse, but some of the faculty that I bring at the table of compassion, of selflessness, and being excellent at what I do. So, and I know, and I think the combination of those two have helped us as a program, to focus on health, and big health, especially that is a big area of need in our country. So I'm going to check your BP right now. So you can relax.
Sustainable technologies are very important to us because we know that the desert is coming. We know that climate change is a reality. And so we understood that a borehole was very important early on. So we have a borehole on the campus, and then we just acquired land where we also have a borehole. And the idea is to use what we have where we are to do the work that we need to do. And since agriculture, education, and healthcare are all important, you can't do any of those effectively without water or a water system. So if you look out, the campus is very green. It's the rainy season, but in the dry season, it's also green. And we have bananas. We have a food garden here to show the students what is possible. One of the things we want to do is actually to train the girls in solar technology. Because as you do girls' education, you're thinking about what are those jobs that people need done, and they don't care whether a boy does it or a girl does it. That's the perfect place. Coding, solar technologies, sustainable technologies. These are places where if you need electricity, you are not going to say, well, a girl is going to put up my solar panel, then I don't want it. You're going to want it, and you're going to naturally see the benefit of girls' education.
So usually, when you decide to become a Starfish student, people are like, are you sure you want to become a Starfish student? It requires a lot, but in order for us to change the Gambia and Africa, you have to pass these people. And just because it is difficult, right? Just because it is difficult doesn't mean it doesn't have to be fun. We have a lot of fun. We work a lot, but we have a lot of fun here. So not all students can balance it, and that's why we do things like goal setting. When you come in, we talk to you, we say, what do you want to grow in? Instead of just being like, okay, this is what you want to do. We have a conversation. You actually have to do an interview to be a part of the program. And that interview is done by your fellow students and other members who are in the program.
Every teacher that ever taught me, it was just me, one student, to them. But I've been able to teach hundreds, right now about 1,000 girls. So it just takes making a difference in the life of one starfish to make a difference in the world.
You said I am strong when I think I am weak. You said I am hurt when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, oh, you said I am yours.
You have, lawyers, doctors, teachers, bankers that have come out of Starfish and graduated and are helping their families and are helping their communities. Instead of trying to convince people in words, today I'm sure you have met all of them, and any parent would look at them and say, I want that. And younger people are also looking at them and saying, I want to grow up to be like that.
Starfish International's story, as narrated by its mentors, has shown the impact various projects have had on its educational growth. They are definitely laying the foundation towards becoming outstanding pillars of the society in the near future. Let us continue the conversation on our social media platforms at Musso Media House as we discuss more. I am your host, Saida Batuli.